Dear friend, has it ever happened to you? You suddenly wake up in the middle of the night, as if something inside you had been triggered. You open your eyes, feel that deep, unsettling silence, and when you glance at the clock, it reads exactly 3 o'clock in the morning. Coincidence? Maybe. But why does it happen over and over again? Why does it feel like your body chooses that exact time to pull you out of deep sleep? No noise, no alarm, no reason at all. You turn over in bed, try to find a comfortable position, adjust your pillow, take a deep breath, try to calm down, but sleep simply doesn't return. Your mind, which was once tired, starts spinning like a fast-running engine. Thoughts rush in, memories from the past, worries about the future, guilt, fears, to-do lists, inner voices, and the silence of the night, which should bring rest, turns into a battlefield of the mind. And what's most concerning is that this doesn't just happen once or twice. It starts becoming a pattern. One night you wake up at 3 a.m., then again the next night, and again the next, until you start asking yourself, what's happening to me? Is there something wrong with my body? Is it just age catching up with me? Could it be stress that I haven't noticed? Oh, is my body trying to tell me something that I haven't yet understood? The truth is, my dear, your body speaks. It holds a wisdom of its own, built over decades of experience, emotions, memories, and silent pain. And sometimes, when it can no longer express itself during the day, when it's overwhelmed, ignored, exhausted, it speaks at night. Maybe you convince yourself that this is just part of getting older, that everyone over 60 starts sleeping less. But what if I told you that waking up at the same time every night, especially at 3 a.m., could be a much deeper signal from your body, your mind, and even your soul? There are medical explanations, but there are also emotional, spiritual, and even energetic reasons for this. Still, the most important thing is not the technical side of it. What truly matters is that you pause and listen, because ignoring this signal can have consequences. It can affect your health. It can steal your peace. It can create a cycle that's hard to break. And what I'm about to share with you from this point forward might change everything. It might transform your nights into moments of real rest. It might restore your sleep routine, and with it, improve your energy, your mood, your memory, your overall well-being. Let me tell you something. Sleeping well is not a luxury. Sleeping well is survival, and you absolutely deserve it. So stay with me until the end of this video, because today, you're going to understand why your body keeps waking you up at 3 a.m. and what you can do about it. According to recent studies in sleep medicine, waking up repeatedly around 3 o'clock in the morning isn't just coincidence, nor is it a bad habit that came with age. In truth, this could be a clear signal that something inside you is out of balance. There's a highly sophisticated system within the human body called the circadian rhythm, a kind of internal biological clock that controls almost everything. Clock hash when you fall asleep and when you wake up. Place setting hash hunger and digestion. Smiling face your mood and emotions. Memory and focus. Shield hash even your immune system, your body's natural defense against illness. This cycle is designed to work in harmony with natural light and darkness, and it is deeply influenced by hormones, body temperature, and emotional triggers. But when this rhythm becomes disrupted, whether due to stress, aging, poor nutrition, certain medications, or lack of routine, the body begins to show signs. And one of the first and most common signs is this one: waking up at the same time every night. Now here's where it gets interesting. Why exactly at 3 a.m.? Doctors and researchers have already identified that this particular time of night, around 3 a.m., may be linked to natural hormonal shifts that occur while we sleep. For example, it's during this time that there's a natural drop in melatonin, the sleep hormone, and a slight rise in cortisol, which is a hormone connected to stress. Now think about this for a moment. If, during the day, your body and mind are already overwhelmed, if you've been going through tension, silent anxiety, fear of the future, or unresolved pain from your past, that spike in cortisol can act as a trigger. Even if your body is exhausted, your mind may be pushed into a state of alert. In other words, your body wants to sleep, but your soul is still awake. In many cases, this frequent nighttime awakening is your nervous system responding to hidden anxiety, that worry you never voiced, that grief you never truly processed, that deep emptiness you felt, but never really shared with anyone. It all builds up inside, and when the silence of the night falls, the body speaks. In more serious cases, doctors observe that this kind of sleep disruption may actually be the very first symptom of silent depression, a profound sadness that hasn't yet come out in words, but is already showing itself through the body. And this is especially common in people over 60, because growing older brings not only physical changes, it brings losses, long-held memories, inner shifts, and emotional transitions that aren't always processed the way they should be. So, my dear friend, please don't ignore this signal. Your body isn't bothering you for no reason. It's asking for help. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you can begin to heal. The sooner you can start to reclaim your peaceful nights, and with them, your quality of life. And there's something else, something not many people talk about. But once you hear it with an open heart, it makes perfect sense. According to the ancient teachings of traditional Chinese medicine, each organ in the human body is believed to be linked to a specific hour of the night. And guess which organ is connected precisely to 3 a.m.? The liver. That's right. Between 1 and 3 o'clock in the morning, the liver enters a phase of intense activity, not just physically, but also emotionally and energetically. In this traditional view, the liver is not only responsible for filtering toxins from the body, it's also strongly connected to repressed emotions such as anger, resentment, frustration, bitterness, and unresolved emotional pain. In other words, when you consistently wake up at this time, your body may be trying to get rid of something, and not just on a physical level. It may be attempting to release emotions you've held on to for far too long. Perhaps you've been carrying sadness that was never expressed, words you swallowed, disappointments you tried to hide from everyone, old wounds that still live quietly inside your chest. Even though you tell yourself you've moved on, it might be resentment towards a family member, or guilt from a past decision, a heartbreak that was never truly healed, or even a concern you've never shared with anyone, but that's been eating away at you in silence. And so, the body begins to respond. It wakes you up. It tries to get rid of the weight. It wakes you up. It pulls you out of deep sleep. Not because it wants to punish you, but because it's trying to get your attention. It's saying, hey, we need to deal with this. You can't keep carrying this burden forever. There's something inside that needs to be cleansed, released, healed. And don't think this is just mysticism or folklore. Today, even many professionals in Western medicine acknowledge that the body stores emotions, and that somatization, the process where repressed emotions become physical symptoms, is real. Sometimes you think everything's fine, that your routine is working, that you're managing to cope, but your body knows, your soul knows, and one day it has to come out. So waking up at 3 a.m. may just be your body crying out for a moment of cleansing, an emotional cleanse, an inner release, a detox, not just from food, but from the feelings that have been making you unwell on the inside. Maybe what you need today isn't just a cup of herbal tea to sleep better. Maybe you need an honest conversation with yourself, a forgiveness that was never offered, a relief that's been trapped inside for years, waiting to be set free. Remember, you're not waking up at 3 a.m. by chance. It's not a mistake. It's an invitation to heal. And your body, with all its wisdom, is trying to speak to you. The only question is, are you willing to listen? If you ignore this signal, it won't just go away. It tends to repeat itself, to intensify, to spread into other areas of your life, quietly, almost invisibly at first, but very, very real. Having a bad night's sleep every now and then is normal. We've all been there. But when poor sleep becomes a pattern, when waking up in the middle of the night becomes part of your routine, your body begins to feel the consequences, and they can be serious. Especially after the age of 60, sleep becomes one of the most essential pillars of health. It affects everything: your heart, your brain, your immune system, your metabolism, and even your emotions. Medical studies show that chronic sleep deprivation or interrupted sleep significantly increases the risk of high blood pressure. It's also linked to the development of type 2 diabetes, as the body loses its ability to properly regulate blood sugar levels. And perhaps the most frightening part, a lack of deep, restorative sleep accelerates memory loss. You begin to forget simple things, appointments, names, dates, and that leads to frustration, insecurity, and fear. Not to mention the emotional toll. Poor sleep is one of the leading triggers of depression in older adults. You may start to feel unexplained sadness, lack of motivation, or lose interest in activities you once enjoyed. And it often starts with something simple, a bit of trouble sleeping that was brushed aside. But here's the good news. You can reverse this. And no, you don't need expensive treatments or heavy medication to start. You just need to pay attention to the signs and be willing to make small changes in your routine, changes that, over time, can completely transform your nights and your life. Person in bed, perhaps it means adjusting the time you have your evening meal, avoiding heavy foods or sugary snacks close to bedtime. Candle hash, perhaps it means creating a gentle bedtime ritual, soft music, a quiet prayer, or a few minutes of stillness away from screens and distractions. Herb, or maybe it's something as simple as changing the atmosphere in your bedroom, the lighting, the temperature, your mattress, or your pillow. These small actions, when done consistently, help your body recognize it's time to switch off. You're safe now. You can relax. You can rest. And when the body rests, the soul finds relief too. Because, you see, this isn't just about sleeping better. It's about living better. Waking up with more energy, feeling motivated to walk, to talk, to try new things. Keeping your mind sharp, your heart light, and your spirit at peace. Because sleep is not a luxury. Sleep is a tool for healing. And you, more than anyone, deserve it. I know there are nights when you wake up and feel utterly alone. Not because there's no one around you, but because deep down, it feels like no one truly understands what you're going through. That silence in the middle of the night, which, for some, is a moment of peace. For you, it sometimes feels like a weight, an emptiness, a space where thoughts scream without making a sound, where your tired body begs for rest. But rest never comes. You toss and turn in bed. You try not to make a sound. You don't want to wake anyone up. But deep inside, you've been awake for a long time. Your mind starts racing. Memories from the past appear without warning. Worries about tomorrow flood in like a wave. And that strange feeling that something's not quite right just won't go away. You start to wonder, is this normal? Am I the only one who goes through this? Am I becoming unwell? And then comes that familiar fear, the one we often try to ignore. The fear that this might become routine. The fear of never finding rest again. The fear of facing all of this alone. But today, I want to tell you something, and I say this from the heart. You are not alone. What you feel is real. What you're experiencing is valid. And no, you're not weak. You're not overreacting. You're not imagining things. Your body is asking for help. Your mind is searching for relief. And your soul is crying out for a kind of rest that goes far beyond just closing your eyes. And here's the good news. There's still time. Sparkles, there's still time to care for your body, gently, patiently, and with deep respect for its limits. Sparkles, there's still time to quiet your mind, to slow your thoughts, to breathe calmly. Sparkles, there's still time to transform your nights, and in doing so, to reclaim your days. Because sleeping well is not the end, it's the beginning of a lighter routine, the beginning of a more mindful life, the beginning of rediscovering yourself. You've already overcome so much to get here. You've weathered storms, faced losses, and carried burdens that many could never imagine. And still, you made it this far with courage and strength, even on the days you felt you had nothing left. So don't give up now. Don't accept this pain as just the way things are. Don't treat your suffering as if it was small, because it isn't, and because you deserve to rest. You deserve to wake up in peace. You deserve to sleep again, not as a privilege, but as a basic right. If you're here today, listening to these words, it's because your heart is ready to begin again. And that new beginning, it starts within you, in the silence of the night, where God also speaks. You've been through a lot in this life. Things that perhaps no one else knows. Things you've carried quietly in your heart for years. Things that have shaped who you are today. You've faced both inner and outer battles. Battles that left scars, some visible, others unseen. You've lost people you loved. You've had to let go of dreams. You watched time take away moments that once felt eternal. And yet, you carried on. You got through days when no one believed in you. You survived pains that no one ever saw. You endured responsibilities, transitions, and phases of life that only someone who's lived long enough could truly understand. And all of this made you stronger. It made you wiser. It taught you to value what really matters. But now a new season is beginning. A season you may have never truly allowed yourself to experience. Now is the time to care for yourself. To look within and recognize that you matter too. To put your peace first. Because for many years, you may have put everyone else ahead of yourself. Your children, your grandchildren, your family, your work, your duties. But now, it's time to turn your attention back to you. To allow yourself to rest. To sleep well, without guilt. To live more lightly, without the weight on your chest. To wake up with energy, not fear the day ahead. To open the window of your soul and breathe deeply. To enjoy your morning coffee slowly. To realize that life is still here, waiting for you, calling you, to be lived with purpose, meaning, and freedom. Because the truth is simple. The best chapter of your life might still be just beginning. And it doesn't depend on your age. It doesn't depend on how much money you have. It doesn't depend on anyone's approval. It depends on a choice. The choice to say, I deserve to live well. I deserve to sleep in peace. I deserve to have good days, even after so many hard ones. And do you know where that all begins? With a good night's sleep, with a simple act of allowing yourself to rest, with the right to close your eyes without fear and wake up with hope. It doesn't matter how much time has passed. It doesn't matter what others have said about growing older. Your time is now. So take care of yourself. Honor your journey. Protect your peace. Because no one gets here by chance. And if you have arrived, it is because there is still life, purpose, and light within you. Start at night. Transform your sleep. And you will notice that your days will change too. If this message spoke to you, write here in the comments. I get my peace and my quiet nights back. Like this video so it can reach other people who are also waking up at 3 a.m. without understanding why. And subscribe to the Wise After 60 channel, because every week I bring information, advice, and curiosities that will help you live with more wisdom, health, and joy after 60. You deserve to rest. You deserve to live well. And I'm here to remind you of that.